Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Islamic Finance program. My name is Almir Colan. We are talking about Islamic finance and Islamic rules regarding money and finance. Today we are going to tackle one very interesting topic. And this is a topic that I spend most of my time studying and researching, and I feel even now that I'm just barely scratching the surface of this so deep topic. I mean, when people talk about riba, interest, they usually think, oh, it's just something. That's it, you know, why so much fuss? What you need to study, it's already clear. We understand it all. I mean, some kind of sin where it brings it to the level of war with Allah is not something that is so obvious, easy. Especially in today's society, when this same riba can have hundreds of different shapes, and it can hide in unusual places. And people don't realize what this simple principle can become later. And I have always seen, whenever I deal with institution or students or anybody who is involved in product or making some sort of judgment on certain contracts, that fundamentally errors come from understanding the basic principle. When you understand this basic principle, you can then look at a more sophisticated product, whether it's derivative, all of these things, contracts, anything you like, and you will see, after you strip it out of the decoration, at the core of it is either riba or not. To go back to the basics of what is riba, how do we recognize it, and then we will look at some more complex transaction and so on to see what sort of shape this riba takes in modern transaction. Because when you see Prophet ﷺ talking about gold for gold, then somebody asks, okay, what does this gold for gold, barley for barley has to do with what we have today economy? You know, where I don't see barley, I don't see gold, I don't see what is. It is directly related, and the wisdom and everything, inshallah, will be apparent to us. So let's go into the couple of key points. Types of riba. Okay, types of riba. Anyone know types of riba?
You get riba nasi'a.
Yep, riba nasi'a.
Riba al-fadl.
Riba al-fadl. Okay, we will now throw these words around. The basic sale contract. Okay, if I want to sell something, some sort of goods, I want to give it. Okay, we want to pay with the money. Okay. Now this is a basic sale between A and B. All right. Now this is what we say in the contract. What is this object that is being sold called?
Subject matter.
Subject matter. Okay, subject matter. And this is payment or consideration. Yeah. All right. Now what are the two things that can affect each contract? Number one is I can pay later. Okay, if I don't have money now, I get something from you, and then I pay later. That is what we call like a type of a credit sale. So time is number one thing. Okay, so time that comes as a result of timing is what?
Nasi'a.
Nasi'a. Okay, so there is delay, there is a credit. Okay, what we call type of riba that affects how much quantity? Riba al-fadl. Okay, so this is why we say riba in nasi'a is a riba of delaying something. And why would you delay something?
Because you don't have the money on you.
Good. Where then riba is obvious there? Usually you delay to get more from someone.
Yes.
Okay, so this is where this loophole is, you know, for the people who do it. And so we say, in general, this is delay in settlement of one or two of these counter values. So these are values, these are 1, 2. So the counter values, so riba nasi'a comes when you're delaying settlement of one of these. Not in every transaction, we will see in which transaction. And also riba al-fadl is a riba of surplus, is when or specific commodity is more. Okay, so it gives rise. Okay, now this might not be immediately clear. What do we mean? So let's look at a couple of examples. Okay, all right. This is very famous narration. Okay. Once Bilal brought some dates. It was very nice barley dates to the Prophet ﷺ. And Prophet ﷺ asked him, like, you know, these are very nice dates. Where did you get these from? Are all of your dates like this? It's, you know. So Bilal said, I had some inferior dates, so lower quality dates, and they were approximately 2 sa, so about 6 kilos. And he said, and I changed this for a smaller quantity, about 3 kilos or 1 sa of these barley dates. And why did he do that?
In order, because to give the best quality to the Prophet.
That's right. So was he oppressed? Was he, like these people say, riba is always when it is oppression and injustice, and was he oppressed? Was Bilal oppressed? Was he happy to do that?
It was a normal transaction.
It is a beautiful thing, you know. He says, I want to take 6 kilograms of these kind of dates. I mean, out of my free will, and to please the Prophet. I love to do that, to please Prophet ﷺ, to give us something nice. So what did Prophet ﷺ say? The Prophet ﷺ said, beware, beware. This is definitely riba. This is definitely riba. Okay? So this is first of all argument of the people who say some type of loans today, when they are commercially, they are not exploitation, therefore they are not riba. We see there is no exploitation here, but still it's riba. It violates one of the principles. So what the Prophet ﷺ said, he said, number 1, Bilal, if you want to do this, okay, do like I'm telling you now. If you want to do that, sell inferior dates for money. Money. Okay?
Yes.
And then buy superior with that money. Okay. Now some smart guys might say, isn't that going to be the same thing? Maybe it will be. Okay? But this is a principle. This is a rule. What do we see here? Number 1 thing. First of all, how do we know Bilal got a good deal here? Did he exactly get the right one? How do we judge? We said before, money is a judge between the commodity. It tells us, first of all, there is also there is some uncertainty here. What sort of price are we getting? What are we, 3, 4, 6, or this and for that? So this level we don't know simply. What do we need? We need medium of exchange, which is money. And therefore you see, when you exchange things into the money, and then money in something else, this is, even when it comes to the same, this is allowed. Okay? And this goes back to what we were saying before, money for money, or money being transferred into something else. Here,
this is riba al-fadl.
Riba al-fadl, because we have unequal to, when we were exchanging, we had unequal to, so this is a fadl, so this is unequal surpluses being exchanged on the spot. So this is not allowed. And also scholars say, if you are doing this, there is one step you need to do. Remember, what did we say? One of the parts of the contract is to break the majlis. So how would Bilal practically do this? He would sell his dates for money and then walk away.
Yes.
Okay, he would leave the majlis, break the meeting. And then, if he wish, he goes back and with the money buy something or go to someone else. What's the reason for this? What's the wisdom? Well, sometimes if I don't break the majlis and he gives me this for money, then I'm sort of intimidated and go back to him to buy. I might not get the real deal, isn't it?
Yes.
It wouldn't kind of work.
Yeah.
So here, it's, I got the price, market price for my dates. Now I'm free to choose where I go. And then I get the, again, best deal. So I'm ensuring that this is that justice. This is the clarity. Otherwise, I might have a suspicion. Did he give me the best? Even if I like it or not, you see? So this riba and other aspects of it is very important.
So basically, After Bilal done this year, and he sold his 6 kgs for money, and then he broke the majlis in order so that we don't make it all one, so that it becomes a force on him to now use.
He could be forced, and the sale is not concluded until majlis is broken, you remember?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, for example, what do we see often this example today, for instance? You go with your wife, or your sister, or your mother in the jewelry store. All right, and you have 2 maybe rings, okay? So you have 1 ring, which is maybe 5 grams, okay? And you have another ring, which is another 5 grams. And these are old rings. So you walk into the store, and you know, I have 2 of these, I don't really need them. Can you give me another ring, maybe it's 8 grams? Is this something that's acceptable?
It's better if we do it the same way, like how Nabi Sallallahu ordered Bilal.
You will see that gold also comes in the same category. All right? Here you are exchanging 10 grams of gold for 8 grams of gold. Regardless of the craft, you know, the details, it's a gold specific rule. And how do we get these things? Where do we get these rules? Okay, let's look at this. Okay, there are a few of these rules by Imam Nawawi that summarize this. Now, I just want to show you that there are a couple of these rules, and we're going to look at them later on and how these rules are derived. Okay, so before going to these rules, let's see where our principles come from. So the Prophet ﷺ said, unless it is the same amount for the same amount, and do not make one amount greater than the other, and same for the silver. So what do we see here is, whenever you have gold for gold, what are the rules? What are the 2 rules we see from this?
Do not sell gold for gold.
So first is sell. So when we sell gold for gold, what is this thing?
Do not sell.
Same amount?
Same amount.
What is that amount?
The grams.
That is which riba affects if it is not? This will be riba al-fadl, of surplus.
Yeah.
So amount will be related to surplus. How much?
How much?
And what is the? And don't make one greater than the other. Okay? So sorry, this is actually, I went a little bit far, another narration. But what we see here is that rules for gold and silver are, don't make them more than each other. Now, the narration I want actually is the next one. I'm already on the next slide. So in this narration, Prophet ﷺ gives us another detail. And it says here, gold will gold. Okay? Silver with silver. Then wheat with wheat. Okay? What else we have? Barley with barley.
Dates with dates.
Dates with dates.
And salt with salt.
And salt with salt. Okay? Same quantity, equal to equal, and transaction being made hand to hand. So whenever it's equal for equal, equal
for equal.
Equal for equal. Okay? Quantity, same quantity for quantity. Okay? And hand to hand. Hand to hand. Alright? When we exchange any of these. And inshallah, after the break, we are going to continue this discussion. Welcome back. In this part, we are talking about the types of riba, and we are looking at different transactions to see if we can recognize where are some of the problems. So we said before there are certain commodities that were mentioned, for example, before, such as gold, silver, wheat, barley, and so on. Now, when we look at these, we could notice, number one, that gold and silver belong to the group of money, monetary assets, while the others belong to the group of other commodities. Now, different scholars analyze these to see whether beyond these 6, are there any other commodities that might fall into this area. So some of the school of thought might say, for example, these 6, what is the common characteristic is that they are edibles, staple food. Some might say feature or the reason that unites them is schools of thought have different. Now, some school of thought, which I found maybe more precise, like for example Hanafi, they say, and this is quite strong definition in my view that I have seen and many contemporary scholars follow, is that the distinctive feature here is the way these things are bought and sold, through weight or measurement. Okay, so this is something that makes them unique. So for example, their feature is that they are fungible, so identical. They are kind of a staple goods, and therefore, according to this, they are bought and sold on weight or measurement. What does that mean? Let's say wheat. Okay, how do we buy wheat?
You say I need a kilo.
On kilos.
On kilos.
So how about bread? Would bread come under ribawi item? Bread is made from wheat.
Bread wouldn't come because it's been processed.
Bread we don't buy by kilo.
Yes.
We buy 1, 2. So this is something that gives us indication. So that means, for example, other grains like a rice or a corn could be possibly seen by majority of the scholar as items that comes under the same, because they are bought in the same way like these other, and they represent other staple foods. So like rice, corn, other grains and sort of thing. However, there is some difference of opinion, but most of what I could see is that this is a quite strong idea, that you see this as something that is bought or sold on weight. So if person, we said, wants to buy something from any of these categories, there are certain rules that affect these transactions. Okay, so let's see, we say number 1, when we talk about gold and silver, this is pure money. Okay, second analogy that we see regarding different fuqaha, they explain these things differently. So let's say now, if we want to go back to our types of riba, all right, if I give you gold now and you give me gold later, okay, we said before, whenever you sell, it must be on the spot and equal to equal.
Yes.
All right, same is for these other ones. How about when I buy this for this? How about if I go like this now?
At the same time.
Let's say on the spot.
On the spot. Why not? It's
yeah.
It's two different items.
Okay. Now we said equal to equal, same quantity, this and that. Does that mean 1 kilo of gold must go for 1 kilo of silver?
No, it doesn't. No.
Why?
Because when it lacks the rules that we gave, then there can be a difference of transaction.
Yeah. So this is not anymore the same one.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is like, I call it like one family, another family. Is that different family like members?
Yes.
Different logic. This is like when we're exchanging currency. Gold and silver are different currency. So we are changing pound for $1. All right. So this means that fadl or increase is not in this transaction. We cannot say why you're charging more gold than silver. This transaction. Okay, what would affect it is it on the spot payment?
Is it on the spot?
All right. So similarly, if I buy something from other category, be no riba, basically. However, if I buy again in the same group, there will be some rules of riba. And we will go back to Imam Nawawi rules regarding this. Let's look at a couple of examples just to see. I was at a fundraising dinner for one of the Islamic centers, and one of the sisters, she donated gold jewelry. So the guy took the ring, and he said, who want to buy this? They auction, I don't know, $1,000, and he says, okay, here's the ring, bring us some money tomorrow. Is this okay? Is this fine? So what is he doing? He's buying gold with money. Where is that transaction? It's here. Okay? Is it on the spot?
No.
No.
It's not, so it's not allowed. Okay? This is what we call riba of delaying. Riba.
It still wouldn't.
That's it. It's not allowed.
And even though it's not from the same, it's different, but because it's not on the spot.
That's right. And comes in the same family of being money.
Okay.
Okay? So inshallah, in the next episode we are continuing this interesting discussion. I hope you will join me. Assalamu alaikum.